Şimdi ne yapacağız şekerim?
Şimdi yine aynı sistemde devam ediyoruz. Fireside Chat dediğimiz bölümleri gerçekleştireceğiz. Yine iki konuğumuz gelecek ve onların deneyimlerini, paylaşmalarını dinleyeceğiz hep birlikte.
Kimler gelecek efendim?
Kimler geliyor? Hemen bakalım. Alexey, Shevenkov ve Murat Yıldız gelecekler.
Evet.
Murat Bey tekrar bizlerle
Murat Bey'in
birlikteler.
konuğu olacak. Ya adam hem patron hem de bizden daha çok çalışıyor ya.
Konuğumuz da geliyor.
Teşekkür ederim.
Buyurunuz.
Çok sağ olasın.
Sağ olun. Buyurun. Hoş geldiniz.
Hoş bulduk. Alexey, how are you?
Good.
Thank you hosting here. Thank you so much for joining us. So, you have been leading the technology team of Hepsiburada for a quite time, I think, right?
Already 3 years.
Oh, great. And you are very familiar with Turkey, right?
Yes.
Before that, also you were here.
Yes.
Yeah. So, we are also very familiar with AI indeed. So, we were talking about AI for a couple of years, but now something new came up, generative AI. So, I would like to ask you about the difference between AI in Hepsiburada and generative AI, and how do you use it in content creation?
So we all know was talking today a lot about generative AI, that it is a new era. But the difference from the previous technologies which we were using in everywhere, including e-commerce, is that the new technology it's coming from the naming, is good in the generation, text generation, image generation, video generation, and the difference is that it's pretty good repeating the human behavior and human sense.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to business, to technology, it's really usable in generating texts, videos, and photos in the commercial environment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We, as an example, started to use it in the catalog. Product descriptions, product information in e-commerce, when you're buying something, it is super important. Which parameters of the product do you have? How you can use it? People really tend to buy more if they read and learn more about the product. And as soon as on the e-commerce we have huge amount of products, it's very hard to create all the necessary information manually. Obviously, for the head, for the most popular products, we are writing texts manually. And there is also the tail, which lacks generally descriptions, parameters. And that's where it comes generative AI into help. So, for example, we have around 200 million products in our catalog, and around 40-50 million of them are on sale. And we lacking around half of them don't have any description, zero, we realized it. And the conversion ratio, and people are buying much less this one. So we came to generative AI and try to whether it will create a pretty convenient and qualified text. And it appears that it's doing it if it gets as a basement the parameters. So the text is which is being created. We definitely worked on the quality and then assessed it, and it appears that it's filling down, and around 10 million products now filled from the texts of generative AI, but they are taking information from the fields from parameters. And we are doing also opposite. So sometimes when you filter products in the search, in the catalog, you need to have structured data for this.
Mm-hmm.
That length of this, or length of height, or Wi-Fi is there, or something is there, parameter is here, it can be extracted from text. And this also coming from generative AI, it's really doing this job on the scale well.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Another example which I wanted to share is the reviews. So customers are writing a lot of reviews in our site. It's also really good decision-making point for the customers to buy something. But sometimes in many popular products, there are hundreds of reviews.
Yeah.
So basically, sometimes you are a little bit lazy to read all of them. And that's where it comes generative AI, which summarizing the reviews from the beginning to the end, and
great.
giving a small paragraph in the very beginning. So if you don't want to go into details, you just can read it, the summarization of what people think about this product. And the last one example, it's not the text generation, but generation of the items. It's a recommendation, personalized recommendations. It's also coming with generative AI, where it's definitely was done before, but generative AI can take much more parameters. So basically, before you can give, for example, category, you can give a gender of the customer, categories which he is interested in, and then generate by an algorithm. Now you can give all the full data which you have from the client, his clicks, his observations, his behavior, and then the network can generate the result. So these different areas, as good examples, they give us scalable approach.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I am definitely a good user of, I'm a good customer of Hepsiburada for sure.
Thank you.
So I definitely read the reviews so much, but as you mentioned, they are sometimes very long. So I sometimes just pick up the bad ones, you know. So that's not.
Then you miss the good ones.
Yes, but that's not so good for a choice as well, because sometimes the customer can be upset from so many different things. Yeah. So that's not so important for me. So a review that is like a Lord of the Rings, a review that consists of all, that makes very sense for me. But implementing such kinds of technology has also some obstacles, as I guess. So what are the problems with implementing such generative AI in content creation? Maybe your personal experiences
yes,
as well.
This is a new technology, so it definitely has deficiencies. And the biggest one is quality. By the way, quality in every artificial intelligence algorithm, I think this is the biggest challenge. Yeah. And the main topic, while it is generating, is probably, you know, hallucination. Yes. So it is not only, by the way, texts, they're hallucinating, but also in images in everywhere. And the main topic here is how we measure the result, how we measure quality. By the way, humans are also hallucinating. Yeah. When we see that our operational team is creating product content, texts, writing texts, marketing texts also, sometimes they make mistakes. And the question is, who is doing more mistakes? And here, for example, when we were checking the quality of descriptions, it is 99%. We were checking this obviously with the human eye in the random selection with the good parameters. But what I mean is that still there is a job to do to reach this challenge. And the second one is also when it generates a text, there is a sense of human touch and also ethics. As you mentioned, reviews. Sometimes in reviews we can see people writing something, right? And when we moderating, by the way, we are obviously moderating reviews, but as a network it can generate something. So not to, basically it also need moderation.
So the content created by generative AI also needs to be moderated by a human or generative AI?
Yes, that's right.
By a human, right? Moderated
if
by
it's humans, it should be moderated selectively. A generative AI also gives good option for moderation, but it's the reality which we have.
So when I came up with personalization, the personalization was always the scope of CRM. So everyone was talking about that we should be selling Murat the item that he needs. But now content creation also needs to be personalized, right? Is that another opportunity for Hepsiburada or for the whole market?
Right. We have a lot of products. We have a lot of people. We need to match them between each other. The old AI technologies, they all have a lot of features, but it is limited. So the thing is that the new AI is really massive. So you can give to it not only like set of parameters, but hundreds and millions of raw data of behavior of the customer, of the properties or parameters of the products or any other content. This is the first one. So the scale, and it comes with really personalization, because before that we were creating hundreds of micro segments, but it still was segmentation, and sometimes you and me could had the same recommendation. With this approach, it is really personalized. And the second one, when it comes to generation, for example, one of our projects is also generates description, but it generates description in the style based on your previous behavior.
Really?
Yes, and that's basically real personalization. So when it comes to, for example, to a person who likes shorter text, if I'm making it up obviously because we see these small examples, but if you're forcing the site and crawling it very fast, probably you are in rush. You don't need a big text.
Yeah.
And this is one example. Another one example, if you are reading it all, you need more facts. So this kind of things, when we are giving a lot of clicks, a lot of browsing data to the network, and then from the other side we are giving all parameters of the product, it can generate a different text for you and me.
So let me understand this straight. For example, if I bought a laptop or a tablet a few months ago, if I get back to Hepsiburada and I am looking for a charger, will the text say that this charger is very suitable for your previous tablet or something like that?
Actually, it is about style. What you are saying, it's kind of a next development type, but this is about style, based on how you browse the, for example, you are going to catalog, you need more parameters. You are searching for something, you need less parameters. It's generating different styles of the same description and marketing text.
Maybe next year my idea will become.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
Thank you.
Amazing one.
So, indeed, we have a few seconds for our time, but I would like to ask you. Today we are talking. This year we were talking about generating the content with AI, and these are hot days for you, right? I mean, the sales and Black Friday is coming up, so maybe next year we will be talking totally different things about how generative AI is helping e-commerce. So, what is your perspective for the future?
I think one of the stories which we see now is the human touch in there. So, as an example, customer service is benefiting a lot from the generative AI. You know, it can generate voice, it can generate text, chat. We all talking with bots as a support. But the thing is that right now, a lot of developments is coming from the sense that communication should be also seen and not be seen as a automatical. I had today a call from the bank, and I realized that this was a bot. Even he was talking, they added some noises, but it's not talking as a human. So I think in the future, this human touch, and I know a lot of companies working on this, how to present the voice, how to decrease the pauses between the phrases, how to answer in a different manner. So this human touch and human AI, I think it's the biggest topic for the future.
Alexey, thank you so much for being with us today and sharing your thoughts and vision with the audience. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Güzel bir alkış alalım. Thank you. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Shevenkov, çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Murat Bey'e de bir
Teşekkürler.
kez daha
Thank you very much.
teşekkürlerimizi sunuyoruz.